Good morning, everyone. I am Mr. Florendo, your Algebra 1 teacher. Today, week 16, we will discuss about chapter 12, lesson number 3. It's all about measures of central tendency and dispersion. That is on textbook, pages 738 to 744. Materials needed. You need your textbook for your reference, notebook for exercises, and of course your pen. Our objective is to learn how to find the mean, median, mode, and the range of a data set. Before that, we will learn the following words or vocabulary. The meaning of the word mean, median, mode, range, and outlier. Let's start first. What is a mean? When we say mean, it is the sum of the data values divided by the number of data items. Or we simply call this one as the average. The next one, the median. The median is the middle value of an odd number of data items arranged in order. When you say in order, it can be from the biggest to the smallest, or it can be from smallest to the biggest number. For an even number of data items, the median is the average of the two middle values. The mode is the value or values that occur most often. When all the data values occur the same number of times, there is no mode. The next one, the range. The range of a set of data is actually the difference between the greatest and the least values. It is used to show the spread of the data in a data set. Let's have this example. Find the mean, median, mode, and range of the data set. We have 4, 7, 8, 2, 1, 2, 4, and 2. So when you find for the mean, we define that one as simply add the values. We're going to add 4 plus 7 plus 8 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 2. The sum is 30. Then divide the sum by the number of items. Okay, the sum is 30. Divide the sum by the number of items. That is 8 items. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're going to divide 30 by 8, and the result is 3.75. So that 3.75, that is your mean. By the way, this mean, median, and mode are the measures of the central tendency. Okay? When we say central tendency, it describes a data that depend on whether the data has an outlier or there is no outlier in that one. So again, this mean, median, and mode are your measures of the central tendency. The mean of this particular data is 3.75. Okay, what about for the median? So if you're going to find for the median, first we're going to arrange the data in order. Okay, arrange the values in order. So when you arrange that one, it can be from the smallest to the largest, or it can be from largest to the smallest. The smallest number here is 1. We have how many 2? We have 3. We have 4, 2, and 7, 8. After arranging that one, since there are two middle values here, okay? Why there are two? Because our number of data here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 items already. So that means the middle in a data that consists of 8 items will be 2. middle values. So in that two middle values, we're going to find the average of these two values. Okay, so that is 2 and 4. So this is our two middle values already. Okay, add that one, that is 2 plus 4, you will have 6. And then divide that 6 by 2, 3. So the median of this data is 3. Okay, what about for the mode? Okay, when you find for the mode, that is only the number that occurs most of the time. So 1 occurs 1, 2 occurs 3 times, 4 occurs 2 times, 7 occurs 1 time, 8 occurs 1 time. Since 2 occurs most often or most of the time, so the mode here, the value 2 occurs 3 times, so our mode here is 2. But in a given set of data, if those numbers occurs exactly the same, okay, like for example, they occurs only 1, there will be no mode in that set of data. Okay, another one. What about if we're going to find for the range? By the way, this range is actually the measure of dispersion. There are three actually that measures the dispersion, how the data is being spread out. We have the range, the variation, and the standard deviation. So these three measures the dispersion of your data in a given set. So how do we find for the range? So when you define for the range, we simply subtract the least value already. So the least value we have 1. The highest we have the highest one. From the greatest value or the highest value we have 8. So we will have 8 minus 1, that would be 7. So the range of this data 478212242 is 7. Let's try another example here. Find the mean, median, mode, and range of the data. Find for the mean. We're going to add the values. That could be 6 plus 4 plus 3 plus 5 plus 2 plus 5 plus 1 plus 8. Then the sum is 34. Divide the sum by the number of items. So how many items do we have? There will be 8 items again. So 34 divided by 8, the result is 4.25. So the mean here is 4.25. What about for the median? The median here would be arrange the data in order from smallest to the highest. So that could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 8. And then, since there are two middle values again here, find the average of these two values. We have 4 and 5. So 4 plus 5, that is 9. Then divide that one by 2, 4.5. So the median is 4.5. For the mode is simply the number that occurs most of the time. So 5 occurs 2 times as compared to the other numbers that occurs only 1 time. So therefore, the mode is 5. For the range. So for the range, we need only to subtract the least value from the highest value, that is 8 already. So the highest value here is 8. So you will have 8 minus 1. That could be 7. So the range here is 7. So 35, 38. In the data set below, the value 12 is much less than the other values in the set. An extreme value such as this is called an outlier. So that number can be too far from the other numbers, or can be too far or greater than from the other set of numbers. We call that number as an outlier. So in this particular set of data, 35, 38, 27, 12, 30, 41, 31, and 35, we have an outlier that is too far from the other set of data, or that is much less than compared to the other numbers. So if you're going to put this one on a number line. Let's say, for example, 35. It is located here. 38, 27, 12, 30, 41, 31, and 35. You will observe here that the number 12 is too far from the other given, from the other set of numbers that we have. So that number 12, we call this one as an outlier. So an outlier number, it is an outlier number. It is the data value that is much greater or less than the other values in the given set. Let's have this additional example. The data shows Sarah's scores for the last 5 math tests: 88, 90, 55, 94, and 89. Identify the outlier in the data set, then determine how the outlier affects the mean, median, and mode of the data. So we have here the Sarah scores in a math test: 55, 88, 89, 90, and 94. So if we're going, the outlier here would be, what is the outlier here? The number that is greater, okay? The number that is much greater or less than compared to the other number. We have 55. So the outlier is 55. So with the outlier, what could be? The mean. So we will have this one, the mean. When you find for the mean, get the sum. That is 416. 55 plus 88 plus 89 plus 90 plus 94. The sum is 416. Then divide 416 by how many test math scores Sarah's? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the quotient would be 83.2. So the mean with the outlier would be 83.2. The median would be the middle. So the middle here is 89. So the median is 89. The mode here, the number that occurs most of the time, since all the test scores here occurs one time, then there will be no mode in this set of data. Okay, so this is the result with the outlier already. Okay, the next one, what about if we're going to remove, okay, the outlier in that given set of data? What could be the effect of that outlier in finding for the mean, median, and the mode? So we have 55 again, 88, 89, 90, and 94. So the outlier here, we're going to remove that one, okay? So let's find for the mean. So when you find for the mean here, simply add 88 plus 89 plus 90 plus 94. The sum is 361. Then divide the sum by the number of scores we have. We have 4. The result is 90.25. For the median, so we will have, again, arrange the data from in order from smallest to largest or largest to smallest. So we have two middle values here, 89 and 90. So get the average of this one. So that could be add and then divided by 2. So the median would be 89.5. And again, the mode here is no, because 88 occurs 1. And also the other scores, it just occurs in the data as one time. Okay? If we're going to compare now here, the mean without the outlier, that is 90.25. With the outlier already, it was reduced to 83.2. So it means only that if a given set of data has an outlier, the mean is affected already. Okay? So the median, 89.5. So with the outlier, it's also 89. So it is not being affected whether in your set of data has an outlier or there is no outlier, or we remove the outlier already. The mode here, we have no mode, so it is not being affected if you have an outlier in your given set of data. For your exercises, please refer to your weekly plan and for the homework in your Pearson account. Okay? Thank you and God bless you.